Hey guys, what is happening? Dan here, aka Night Fox. Today I had the opportunity to sit down with TIm Gallenbeck. Tim is such an interesting guy and I had so much fun getting to know him better. But before we get started, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on any other interviews with great Iowa ninjas. Thanks, Tim, for giving me some time today.
Absolutely, man. Glad to be here.
Yeah, definitely. So let's start with a little bit of your background. Like, what kind of athletic background do you have? What got you going?
Yeah, so I've been, I started off playing baseball a lot when I was younger. And then once I got to high school, I realized I wasn't any good. So I fell in line with some ruffian skateboarders back in the day. Anyway, I fell in love with skateboarding, and I've been doing that ever since. I'll be 43, or I am 43, I guess, and I just had a birthday.
Nice.
I get old and I forget how old I am.
I understand that.
And so, so I still have been skateboarding, and that's one of the main things I've done consistently for the 20 plus past years. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So a lot of skateboarding, so you've worked on your balance a lot. Had you done a lot of upper body stuff?
No, not so much upper body. Like, I got into doing slacklining too. So I was always intrigued by the balance part of it, but more with like my feet. With the skateboard, and I snowboard a lot too. So I actually started snowboarding before I did skateboarding, and then I found slackline, did that a bit. I was like into juggling and things like that. But yeah, upper body stuff I haven't done much of in my life, honestly. Yeah.
Okay, cool. How did you transition then from skateboarding to ninja? Because it doesn't seem like there's like an easy transition there.
No, it's kind of, there's some cohesiveness to it, and like the things from skateboarding with like the balance and body awareness like comes from skateboarding a lot. So like in ninja that translates well. But the upper body stuff, it's ridiculous since I started training ninja to now, the change I've had in upper body. Like just the small incremental things I've done every day, like pretty consistently, and to see where it is now is just so cool. Like, yeah, that's what amazes me about it, is that like you don't have to do a lot, but a little over time like just builds that strength.
Definitely.
And I love just seeing how much that changes and how that translates when I'm actually doing other obstacles. Like even like a week's difference, sometimes you come back and be like, how did I just get that obstacle, you know? And so that's fascinating to me for one. And then also, I know it's kind of off the strength, but the mental game of it is awesome. And I love overcoming those challenges as well.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think that's something that a lot of people struggle with ninja, because it's not something that you start and you're just naturally good at.
Right.
I think a lot of people, when they start, like they can't grab a cliffhanger or the salmon ladder. They can't do that, and then they give up instead of like putting that work in and getting better, like you said, incrementally day by day.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's been cool to see, like, watching the show over the years. I watched it quite a long time ago, but just started rewatching it last year. So and seeing other people of all sorts of ages was awesome and inspiring as well.
Yeah, because you're definitely on the older side of ninjas.
Absolutely.
But I think probably you having kept up with skateboarding, that's not necessarily a young person's sport, but like the same with ninja, like it's usually the younger people. Yeah. And so I'm sure you know that helps keep you in shape and that mindset. So.
Yeah, and it helps mentally. I'm still 12.
Yeah.
So
Totally. I think all men are still 12.
I'm just glad I have 4 kids, because I'd be the weird guy at the park, playing.
At least you can take them.
It's not as creepy.
Yeah, exactly. That's funny. Okay, so when you got the call this year, this is your first year. How long have you been doing ninja? Let's talk about
absolutely.
that.
It's a great question. So it's awesome. So last year, season 13, it was, so 2021. It was end of June. I happened to tune in on like Peacock or whatever streaming network it was, and the episode was the Midwest episode, and they happened to have 4 ninjas from Iowa on there, and I was like, what? And then I realized Ninja U is here in Cedar Falls, and I was like, what? This may be obtainable. Like, there's an hour away gym, and then one just opened up in Marion around the same time called Victory Sports Center. And I'm like, oh man, this is awesome. And so seeing those guys just like really inspire me. And so after that episode, I actually made a video, and it was posted on Facebook. And maybe we can cut that in or something cool to see. And so I was like watching it until one start to train. I went down my basement, literally just have an I-beam down there. So I started doing pull-ups in the I-beam, and I literally haven't stopped training since then, which has been crazy. So anyway, fast forward, I started, like I said, seeing progress, and then I came up here and met all you guys. And just been, the community has just been amazing. Just as a newbie, like coming in, you guys have just treated me very well, and it's just so cool. That's one of the big parts I love about Ninja too. That relates to skateboarding. There's like such a community. And everybody embraces each other. Yep. And so, so then I found out a couple months later. Well, actually, so then I entered a competition a month into training just to see where I was at. Yeah. And being in the old guy division, the Masters 40 plus, I was like, oh, this would be kind of fun. And also I get to meet other guys that are
that are passionate about ninja and your age.
Yeah, so I did it and I totally got last, which was awesome. I didn't care. I happened to qualify for the finals though. There's only 5 of us and a couple other guys qualified previous. So I actually got to go to the finals, which was here at Ninja U in the fall of 2021, and I did not get last in the finals.
There you go.
That was awesome. And then anyway, around that time they're doing casting for Ninja Warrior, and I found out, and I was like, you know what? I have as good a chance as anybody just to put it out there. I have a kind of a unique story, and I was like, I'm just gonna see where we're at, and I love just putting things out there and just trying it because it doesn't hurt. Like it's not gonna change anything. Like if I don't make it, I don't make it. So and then I ended up making a whole video and stuff, and ended up the end of what was it? I think it was March. I don't know the exact show timeline. I got a call, and I literally just had COVID the second time when they called, and they called my wife. And she's like, no, I'm not telling him because he has COVID. And they wanted her to film it for the reaction video. And they were like kind of upset by it. And they're like, okay. She's like, you're gonna have to call back when he's feeling better. That was awesome. So I literally just got done having COVID, and she surprised me at the call, and my reaction was kind of like I was still like in zombie mode. So I've never actually watched the video, but so I was super stoked. It's just honored to only be doing Ninja since in June of 2021, and then to actually be on the show was just like such a blessing. And I was so grateful for that opportunity. It's incredible.
And it just shows that you obviously you put in a lot of hard work. This was something you were passionate about, and when you put in that hard work, it can pay off.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to be around people that are better than you too is so humbling, and yet to be open to that experience is such a cool thing to see and know that you have so much more to learn, and I'm still learning every day. And I think that's why I really love this too, because I know there's so much more to learn, and then also being around, like I said again, that community and having that support really helps with like when you're having those down days and stuff too. They're there to lift you up and cheer you on, and like that's one of the best things. That's
one of the craziest things I found is like you're competing against each other, but you also want to see people succeed. You're not like, oh, I hope that guy falls. Like you want everybody to do their best. Like you're never rooting against somebody.
Right, and I love that. It's so cool. I wish there was more of that in the everyday life too.
Oh, I totally agree. If the world was more like the ninja community, we'd be a lot better place.
Yeah, it is awesome. So
okay, so you get there, you do all your hero stuff and everything. Had you picked out a name? Was this something you had prior to, or was this because of Ninja?
Yeah, so I'm a professional Etch-a-Sketch artist. And
really?
And so this is the little Etch-a-Sketch beard. So I've done, beard's kind of been my thing. I've did beard competitions, like beard modeling.
Seriously?
Yeah, so super, I like doing all the beard stuff, apparently, but it's so fun. And so anyway, my Etch-a-Sketching name is Bearded Border.
Okay.
And what the theory behind that is, I didn't want to infringe on copyright, so it was the beard and the border of the Etch-a-Sketch.
Got it.
Bearded Border.
Yeah.
I kind of sometimes have to explain it, but so that is where the name came from. So that was kind of my shtick on the show. I brought my Etch-a-Sketch, and I can preserve the Etch-a-Sketch so they don't shake up. And so we had some cool things going with production with that, and the hero shots were super fun with doing Etch-a-Sketches.
I'm sure.
People know, if they don't know hero shots, when you're standing on a pedestal and they kind of spin you around, and it's like really it's fun. It's just a fun time. And so that whole experience was just great. I love seeing behind the scenes stuff and all the production, and how really genuinely kind everyone was there too, even though they're working crazy long hours. Everyone was super nice. So my overall experience in that behind the scenes was cool.
Awesome. I like to hear that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get up there, it's your time to go. What's going through your head like right before you start?
Yeah, absolutely. So I did a bit, and with Akbar and Matt, well, I didn't do it. I gave them an Etch-a-Sketch, and I wasn't quite sure if they're going to do the bit. I was told they were, and I was told they weren't. And then I saw on the big screen, we're standing down behind the stage at this point, watching the big screen. They shoot your friends and family, a test run. You see them, which that got me really nervous and hyped at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
And then to see them play around with the Etch-a-Sketch, and then they pretended to drop it, and then that one was preserved, and they picked up a dummy one that was already shaken up.
Yep.
So it was just a funny, just comedy bit. So that made me a little less stressed. It was actually pretty funny. And so I was just watching the guy sitting there, and he's just waiting for this guy to kind of give you the finger, and then you walk up the stairs. And once you get up on the stairs is the platform. And they tell you to look over, and you see your family in the live stream that were there, and then people on the crowd too. And so you're waving at the family and stuff, and do your bit or whatever you do on that stage. And then you get down to the next stage where there's a little circle. craziest thing, I never realized the beep beep boop in Ninja Warrior is not real.
Yep.
I mean, they added that in. So I was like, that was one of the most disappointing things that I found out about the show was that, honestly.
Like you're ready to go, and then you don't get your
and
boops.
I'm like, what? So you watch a guy count you down, so everyone's got the like whatever, the beep beep boop timeline, and then you go, and then a timer, you kind of cross the line, the timer starts.
Yep.
So my biggest worry was the first obstacle.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of people's biggest worry, because most people don't do obstacles over water, so like that's just intimidating.
It is. It's when you see it on the grand scale that is American Ninja Warrior, and all the rigging and all the people, it is intimidating for sure. And of course, you don't want to go down the first obstacle.
Yep, for sure.
And it's a kind of like a balanced one they had, and so it was this. Yeah, I think out of the most of it, that was where I was the most nervous. I was like, if I can get past this, I'll feel okay.
Yep.
At that point.
Okay, so you made it past the steps, and then you went. Do you know what they called the slider obstacle? Nobody's been able to tell me what they called that one.
I can't remember. That's a great question.
It's similar to the double dipper, except that you have to jump at the end.
Right, you take it off, and it's kind of got like almost like a wheel thing. You skip over to a third one. So that one was interesting because I was runner 50 of the day, so I was in midday. So I saw a lot of people like not make it on the obstacle. It was very hit and miss throughout the day. So I had no clue. But the cool thing was at Victory Sports Center, they have one of those.
The double dipper.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've trained on it a bunch specifically because I didn't know. Like when you train Ninja, you kind of just train everything possible. So you never know till you get to the show what the obstacle is until you're there that day. And so that was nice because I already knew that I had that part. It was the gap in jumping that I was pretty nervous about. And I got to the second one, came down, and I was like, oh my God, I got it. And then I hopped it. I think I just made it, and then I flew off. At this point, too, I was going pretty fast because I knew that I'm new and time kind of mattered because I didn't
furthest,
know if
fastest.
I would go so I wasn't sure how I'd do. So I was kind of going fast, right? So that's where I was at in that second one.
Gotcha. Okay, and so then after that is balance.
Yes.
Okay, so you come up to the balance. Did you have a decision, or were you like, no, I'm going with the roller?
So I kept going back and forth on. There was I was like, I don't forget the name of the off-center tires. There's 3 of them that you jump on, they spin, and then the rolling logs or whatever they're called. And it was hit and miss. And then most people were taking the logs, and I was like, okay, well, it looks easy. Like a lot of people are doing it, and there's a lot of people failing too. So I'm like, all right, it's balance. I don't know how it's gonna go. I mean, lots of really good people seasons after have been out in balance the first, thing.
Yeah.
So like I said, I was going pretty fast, and I stopped for like maybe a hot second. I was like, I'm just gonna hammer it, gonna run them out. I got to the third one. Went a little too far.
Yep, just a little bit.
Yeah, and that was just enough to throw me off on the fourth, and I did this awesome accidental flip into the water, and it was over. But I couldn't be more happy about it.
Yeah.
Honestly, the just to get that far even to the third obstacle and know I went out of balance, I felt really good about it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because last season, seeing other people go out on there, it's just one of those things. I know people can come back the next season. Really well.
Yep, we know Isaiah's come back. He fell on balance his first year, and Levi last year fell, and he was able to come back this year.
And so I'm using that as my inspiration because I get to saw Levi do his run in person and see him overcome that. So that's what I'm going in and hoping if I get on the show next year that that I can make that a thing.
So there will be a next year. You're going to apply again?
Absolutely,
definitely.
Man. Yeah, I'm going to try my best. There's no stopping the Ninja. For one, I'm in the best shape of my life right now at 43, and I'm having so much fun doing it, and that's like the best thing.
That's the most important thing.
Right? Yeah, and like I said, I've met people like you and so many other great people that there's no way to walk away from just from one season.
Well, Tim, I really appreciate your time today.
Absolutely,
I had a blast learning more about you, and I can't wait to see what you accomplish going forward.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and I can't wait to watch all your interviews and everything and the success you'll be having here soon too. So.